Welcome back, students. Let us continue with the basic accounting terms. The next one is sales. When goods meant for resale are sold, it is called sales. So goods, it can be articles, things or commodities which a business deals with. You call that as goods. So those goods which are meant for resale, when it is being sold, it is called as sales. So sales can be cash sale and credit sales. So under cash sale, cash is received immediately. When you sell goods to your customers, you will receive cash immediately. So such a transaction is called as cash sale. So under credit sale, cash is not received immediately, but the buyer has promised to pay it at a later date. The next one, sales return or return inwards. Return inwards. Goods are coming back to the business. So when goods sold are returned by the customers, it is called as sales return. In the previous video, we have seen purchase returns, and reason for purchase return, it may be a defective product, or it may not be according to the order, or due to price variations. The same thing from the customer's end. When they think that the product is defective, or if it is not according to their order, or if it is not according to their likes and preferences, or it can be any other reason for sending the goods back to us. Able to understand? So when goods sold are returned by the customers, it is called as sales returns. The next one is stock. So unsold goods lying in a business on a particular date is known as stock. For example, I have purchased 1000 units of a product and I have sold 750 units from that. The remaining 250 will be my stock as on a particular date. The stock is nothing but the unsold goods lying in a business on a particular date. The next term is income. So what is an income? The amount which is received or realized from sale of goods and earnings from interest, dividend, commission. You call this as income. So when you make a sale, when you receive cash or the amount which is being realized when we make a sale, that refers to income. Or it can also be earnings out of interest. So when we invest money elsewhere, we would receive interest on that. Dividend is nothing but the share of profit given by the company to its shareholders. You call it as dividend. So when you receive dividend, that is referred as income. Commission. So all these things comes under income. Interest, dividend, commission are examples for income. So it is the amount which is received or realized from sale of goods and earnings from interest, dividend, commission, etc. The next term is expense. So expense is the amount incurred in order to produce and sell the goods and services. So if you want to produce something, we need a factory, a premises where we need to manufacture the product. So you have to pay rent for it, or if it is your own building, that's fine. Otherwise, we need to pay factory rent. So you have to bring the raw materials into your factory. You need transportation for that. You have to pay. And for the labor force, we need to pay wages. We need power to operate our machines. Power, coal, fuel, all these things are required in order to produce something. And we can't keep those goods with us. We need to sell, right? So you have to pack it. You have to advertise. You have to promote your product and take it to the market. So an expense is the amount incurred in order to produce and sell the goods and services. So examples for expense, you have wages, electricity charges, factory rent, office rent, salary, advertisement, transportation charges. Expense can be divided into two. Direct expense and indirect expenses. So we shall look into this term later. So I will give you more examples with respect to the direct expense and the indirect expense. So direct expense in simple terms refers to those expenses which are connected with the production of a product, manufacturing a product. So those expenses which are related to the production, you call it as direct expense. And indirect expense are not connected with the manufacture of a product. So for example, office rent, salary, selling and distribution expenses, advertisement. So all these things are not connected with the production. Comes under indirect expenses. The next term is solvency. So solvency means the capability of a person or a business enterprise to pay the debts. So it is a capacity or the capability of a person. It can be a person or a business enterprise. So it is the capability or the capacity of a person or a business enterprise to pay the debts. You call that as solvency. So insolvency is just the opposite. It is the incapacity or inability of a person or a business enterprise to pay the debts. It's called as insolvency. The next term is debtor. So debtor is a person who receives a benefit without giving money or money's worth immediately but liable to pay in future. The next term is creditor. A person who gives a benefit without receiving money or money's worth immediately but to claim in future. In case of the debtor, debtor is a person who receives the benefit. So he receives the benefit but he doesn't pay anything. But he promises to make the payment at a later date. Mostly debtors are our customers. In case of a credit sale, we are selling goods to our customer. The customer is receiving those goods, but he doesn't make the payment immediately in case of a credit sale. But he promises to make the payment at a later date. So till he makes the payment, he is our debtor. So now who is the creditor? The person who gives the benefit without receiving money or money's worth immediately but to claim in future. So now we are purchasing goods from a supplier. We are not making any payment immediately, but we are promising to make the payment at a later date. So now who is giving the benefit now? The supplier is giving the goods. That is the benefit. Right? So he is giving us the benefit without receiving money or money's worth immediately, but to claim in future. So he can claim from his customer in future. Now the supplier is the creditor. So till he gets his money, he will be till we make the payment to our supplier, he will be our creditor. Let me explain the concept of debtor and creditor with an example so that you can understand better. Now, just look at the board. Sold goods to Mr. XYZ, rupees 10,000 for credit. So we are selling goods to Mr. XYZ. So what is the amount? Rupees 10,000 for credit, which means Mr. XYZ is not making the payment immediately. It is a credit sale. So XYZ is our customer. Till he makes the payment, he will be our debtor. He is the one who is receiving the benefit without making the payment immediately. Able to understand? So till he makes the payment to us, he will be our debtor. He is the one who is receiving the benefit of the goods. Goods are passed immediately, but the payment has not taken place yet. Second one, purchase goods from ABC and Company for rupees 20,000 on credit. Now, we are purchasing goods from ABC and Company. ABC and Company is our supplier. We are not making any payment immediately, but we are receiving the goods, right? So ABC and Company is the giver of the benefit. They are giving us the benefit of the goods. They are the supplier. So ABC and Company is our supplier. He will be our creditor till we make the payment. Able to understand, children? So just go through these accounting terms. Let us continue the remaining in the next video.